So this is my project number 10 interview movie, and I am interviewing Miss Anita Mattern today. She is an elementary teacher at Rockwell, and you teach what grade?
I teach second grade.
She teaches second grade. She's been teaching for 22 years now, and 1 year she was an assistant principal. So I have a couple of questions to ask her, and we're just going to run through them real quick in an interview type manner. So the first question is, how do you minimize conflict in your classroom?
Well, the most important thing that I can suggest to anyone that's interested in becoming a teacher is at the beginning of the year to establish your rules and procedures of how you would like for your classroom to run. Rules need to be short, not very many. They can encompass a lot of behaviors. Procedures are things as simple as when to sharpen your pencils, how to pass in your papers, what to do if the intercom comes on, how we transition from one activity to another. I have specific routines that, over my years of experience, I have found work best for my teaching style. So the first several days, weeks of school, we routinely practice, model, and rehearse those procedures so that the children know exactly what I expect and that they will have the appropriate response in any given situation.
Okay, very interesting. The second question is just describe the toughest discipline situation that you have ever encountered, and how did you handle that?
Well, teaching the lower elementary grades, I mean, I have had experience with fourth grade and third grade as well, but even those grades are considered in the elementary age. I really don't have huge discipline issues. I think one thing that's key in that is, like I said, establishing those rules and procedures so that the children know that you have high expectations, and being consistent when a rule has been broken with whatever discipline plan you have come up with. In my room, I use what I call a pin chart. I give like a verbal warning, and then I ask them to check their behavior, and then if they continue to misbehave, I will move their pin and record that on my daily conduct sheet that goes home for parent signature every day. One thing that I guess my toughest discipline problem is that sometimes not always being exactly forthcoming with the truth in situations. Trying to always maybe blame someone else for their behavior, or I did this because somebody else was doing such and such. So I really teach them that they are the ones that are responsible for their behavior. They have a choice. They choose to follow our rules, or they choose to break our rules. And when you choose to follow the rules, you'll have compliments and you'll have good consequences. If you choose to not follow our rules or to break our rules, then you choose to have a not so nice consequence, whether it be a pin move or a loss of a privilege, or in a very, very drastic case, it may even escalate to a referral to the principal's office, which I have found that's very minimal. There's been years I've never even had to involve the principal in anything, because I have really high expectations, and they pretty much just do what I expect them to do.
I got you. Okay, so if you let them know that you expect more, then maybe that will let them have more self-respect.
It does, and two, it is teaching them what you want them to do and being consistent. If one day it's okay to get up and walk around the classroom while you're in the middle of instruction, and then the next day it's not okay, that sends a mixed message to them. They need to know, this is what Miss Mattern expects me to do, and if I choose to do that, then I'm going to get to go to the treasure box, or I'm going to get special privileges, or what have you. And if I choose not to do those things, I'm going to have some consequences that I really don't want to have.
Exactly. Okay. Well, is there anything that you think you would tell a future teacher, maybe one tip that you would like to leave with them? A piece of advice, quick piece of advice.
My most, I guess, the advice that I give to future teachers the most is to take time at the beginning of the year to really, really establish your rules and procedures and routines. Most misbehavior happens not because of a conduct problem, but it is just the not knowing the routines and procedures that are expected. So take that time to practice, model, and rehearse. I will model things. I will get other children and I'll say, okay, uh, I will model how I would like for them to partner read with one another, model what they're to do if they should break a pencil. I model everything for the first 2 weeks of school, really. We spend a lot of time modeling and rehearsing those procedures. So think about it. What do you want them to do? When would you like for them to do that? Like in my classroom, we do not sharpen pencils after the first thing in the morning. So they know they have a pencil inside their desk. We call that our garage. And we have a pencil in a parking space, which is the little groove on top of their desk. And then they may have an extra one inside their desk as well. So they have 3 pencils. So if one breaks, they have a backup. Because we don't run over to the pencil sharpener. It's distracting when people are working. So that's just simple things, but it makes such a big difference in the efficiency of running your classroom.
Okay. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed having this interview, and thanks for all of the tips.